song that he did for me was better than every single song that I ever got mixed down in my entire life.
What's up, guys? We're back. The MixedByColt Podcast. This is the fourth one. This is the fourth podcast. We got a special guest. Every guest is special, but this one in particular is special because he has his own unique sound that I think is super radio ready. He's kind of like Kid Leroy, but the better version. So we got Sprye on the call right now.
What's up? It's an honor to be on here. How you doing, Colt?
Pretty good. How you doing, Sprye?
I'm doing good. You know, just a normal afternoon, sitting outside. The weather's nice.
Where are you video calling me from?
Currently, I'm in Delaware, actually, the first state, so it's pretty chill.
Heck yeah, Delaware. Is the weather good there?
I mean, it's all right. It's actually, like, pretty good for October. It's actually, like, 66 right now, so it's probably not as good as Austin, but, you know, it's all right.
Tell us about you. Where are you from, and, like, how'd you get into music?
So originally, I'm from Maryland, actually. My family's actually out of Baltimore, and pretty much just got into music because it's been in my blood for forever. I've had like grandparents that were in bands and things. It's kind of been like, it's a huge cultural thing in my family. So, you know, I've always enjoyed it. And I'd say the biggest person that probably pushed me to do music growing up was probably my grandmother specifically. She always believed in me. So yeah, it's kind of where I got my start.
Heck yeah. And your grandma, did she teach you anything about music?
Honestly, like, she wasn't too big into music herself, like the knowledge-wise, but in terms of like knowing like artists and different backgrounds and genres, like she was very like heavy on putting me onto things. Even to this day, like there'll be times where I'm listening to the same stuff over and over and I'm just tired of it, or Spotify, the playlist isn't hitting. So I'm just like, what's an old artist from the 50s or 60s? And she'll put me onto something I never heard before. And I just really enjoy it, you know? I love going back to the roots and hearing some stuff, pulling it, getting some more inspiration.
What's the best advice she's ever given you?
Honestly, just don't sleep on myself. Because honestly, like, there's been a lot of times where I've, like, doubted my music or whatever. And, like, I'll have my friends, family, whatever. People tell me, oh, it's really good, like, keep going, whatever. But, like, I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to doing anything that I actually truly enjoy in this world. So just her telling me not to sleep on myself, like, encourages me to, like, make music every day. You know, so I appreciate that.
When was the first time you made music?
That's hard. So do you mean like recorded my first song or just played around with music in general?
The first time you got in front of a mic and recorded.
Sheesh. I'd probably say like junior year of high school. We were just messing around. It was me and one of my buddies from high school, and we weren't even taking it seriously. We just pulled up some YouTube beat. I think at the time we were using GarageBand. And we were using like a snowball microphone with a sock on top because we didn't have a pop filter. And we were just like freestyling, had no idea what we were doing. I think actually we had a challenge. We were like, yo, if we rap every day for a month, we're going to be so good at it. Let's just do it every single day. So we were just freestyling, bullshitting, thinking that we'd be like the next like Little Uzi or something like that. You know, he was popular. So that's kind of how I got my start, honestly.
It's so funny how when you first start music, you think you're one door away, you think you're so close to popping off, and then it's like a month goes by, and then it's like 3 months go by, then a year, and then like 5 years, and then it's like, oh shit, I have to like make drastic changes to get to the next level.
I'm telling you, man, like there's such a weird gap between your skill level versus where you want to be, and then like you have no sense of the music industry or the reality of it. Like back then, I'm sure I was making god-awful music, maybe for even like a few months and years after that. And I just thought I was so close. But now I feel like I'm making pretty good stuff. And it feels like I can pop off. I have the potential to. And now it's like, okay, let me focus on the marketing, the branding, the image, you know what I mean? Doing things like this, interviewing. So there's a lot of steps that it takes. And like, you can be very delusional at first, I will admit, even sometimes now, but I think I could take a piece of Russ's advice and just have that delusional confidence to keep going because I'm here for a reason, you know? So
definitely. There's like two types of delusion. There's delusional confidence, like you said, Russ said, and then there's actually being delusional. And to have delusional confidence, that means you're going to get to your goal regardless of what it takes. But then if you're actually being delusional, it means you're not actually doing things to get to your goal. You're not actually doing what it takes. So delusional confidence is like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'm just gonna get there. It's just gonna happen. I'm just gonna keep making music, blah, blah, blah. Just one day someone's gonna call me, knock on my door, fly me out to LA, sign me, and then bada bing, bada boom. But that's actually being delusional. But to actually not be delusional, you have to invest in your marketing, actually do stuff to market yourself, because the music's not enough. I get so many DMs every day of people wanting to send me their music, spamming me with their music, and they're like, please listen. Even if it's the best thing I ever heard, it's not like I'm gonna be like, hey, you're flying out tomorrow, I'm giving you $100 million and it is what it is. It's like, no, what I'm first gonna do before I even look at your music is look at your social media, just naturally. And like, if it's, 500 followers, 30 followers, even I would say less than 50K or 100K sometimes, like, I don't care that much, because what it shows me is that you don't care about yourself enough to invest in yourself, to actually do the right steps to build yourself first and then come to me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think artists should invest in themselves. I definitely am guilty a little bit of not fully investing in the marketing side. I'd probably benefit a lot if I actually had a good agent of some sort. But yeah, definitely the music is like never enough. That's the crazy thing about the industry. Like, there's crazy, ridiculous artists I find that are like underground that are like some of the best things I ever hear, right? Their music is just absolutely phenomenal. But like, many people will never hear them just because like they're not dedicated to the actual business side of the things. And that's one thing I actually honor about you, because that's amazing. You see yourself out here getting to the bag either way, like whether you're booking mixes or you're doing live streams or you're promoting things, you have a whole website. Like, there's not too many engineers that do what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I have a different kind of drive, which I think brought me so high in my career. I've worked with over 100 major artists. I've been in rooms with people you can't even pay them enough money, and they'll be like, I'll get in a room with you. I've just been in those rooms. So it's all about your drive and actually putting things into action to make things happen. You can't just say, oh, yo, I'm gonna be the next big thing. You have to physically do things. And that's the big difference with the 1% and the 99%. But I'm really happy that I feel like you're on the verge of about to ramp up your content and your marketing and everything. And I think you have the music down already. Music we don't have to worry about, get it mixed and mastered, sounding clean. But then the marketing with you, that's something that you have to build, and it takes time to build, because for it to happen overnight is not a good long-term play, because you'll be a one-hit wonder, and one-hit wonders never stay. So like, you have to build a solid foundation. I mean, there's a slim chance a one-hit wonder, it could work, like Lil Nas X or something. But if you build a strong foundation in the long run, you're going to be unstoppable. It's going to be harder to break down your wall. So slowly building.
What's the best advice you'd give to an artist that wants to start marketing their music?
The best advice I would give to an artist to start marketing their music is run the numbers. Go take all the data you can from your streams to your Instagram likes to everything, put it in a Excel or a Google sheet, look at your numbers, and then go solidify what you want your goals to be, and then look at the huge leap it's going to take to get there. You're going to be surprised, because you could be like, all right, so let's say I have 1,000 monthly listeners. Okay, I want to get to 1 billion monthly listeners. So if you see that you have 1,000 monthly listeners in 1 year, how many years will it take at that rate to get to 1 billion? Like, you will be dead before the time you get to 1 billion listeners. So you have to literally make yourself a new person with your strategy. You can't focus on hopes and dreams, because your hopes and dreams are not going to take you there. Only your physical actions will take you there. So that's like my best advice for an artist.
It's actually really good advice, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to know, like, so you've been recording for how many years?
Seriously, recording? Probably, I'd say maybe like 3 years now, roughly.
Was there ever a moment where you were super confident in your music? Like, was there an exact moment when you were like, okay, I can do this. My music's actually really good.
I don't know. I've definitely experienced that multiple times in the songwriting journey. I've actually experienced that recently with another song I actually wrote. It always feels better and better every time. But I think I've kind of always just had this connection with music and like being able to like make people feel what I feel. So I've always had that feeling of, oh yeah, this is the one, even if it wasn't. Some songs more than others, but yeah, I'm still getting that feeling nowadays. Like when I was making chest pains and songs that I like made like a year ago, like I was like, dang, these are like really good. Like I can hear these on the radio for sure. And other people would affirm that as well. But you always kind of feel that as you level up as an artist, at least for me, I can say, you know?
Yeah. Who are your biggest inspirations music-wise?
Sheesh. Obviously, I would say in terms of the modern era, I'd say Post Malone. I like a lot of what Dominic Fike does. Like when I first heard him, I was like, damn, this shit is like such a cool mix between older bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers and you name it, you know, just putting more of a modern twist on it.
Yeah.
Sheesh. You mentioned Leroy. I listen to Leroy a lot. I used to. Great artist in terms of modern, but I try not to listen to too many modern artists anymore. Like I always go back. I always find more value in the older stuff. Like recently I've been listening to more like Led Zeppelin and things, Deftones. Like I've been loving their White Pony album. It's pretty dope. Who else? I can probably go on forever if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's just like on the rock side of things. Like I kind of grew up listening to like Nas and Jay-Z and Cole. Like I pretty much have a little bit from everywhere. So in terms of the influence, it's like, it's really hard to pinpoint. Because even like we said earlier, like my grandparents will listen to AC/DC, then they're listening to like jazz, like, you know, Stevie Wonder. You know, my mom's listening to R&B as a kid growing up, you know, a lot of Beyonce, things like that. My dad's listening to Wayne. You know, I have like all these different influences, which I really think help this improve my sound just because I can pull from so many things. And even like more recently, like I've been a really big like Morgan Wallen fan, and like I like Hardy, if you know what that is. It's country. Noah Kahan. I love Noah Kahan. I've been like really experimental because I never grew up listening to anything that was country related or even like folk style at all. But, you know, I'm really starting to love it. It's starting to grow on me more. So.
Yeah. And how old are you?
24, actually. I just turned.
So, Sprye, how would you describe yourself as an artist? Why should people listen to you?
Because they're going to feel what I say. I think my music is very relatable overall, and I only say like how I feel, what I've been through. Like I don't have like a facade on it at all. Like whatever I'm sitting down and recording in the moment is how I feel. Like for the most part, I kind of freestyle my songs. I started writing a little bit more here and there with some of the newer demos I have, but everything is just super raw and real. I try to keep it 100, you know. I think people can just like feel the realness inside of the music. At least the people that I show the music to, they always love it. So I think that's pretty much the reason why.
What does your music like talk about usually?
Usually like traumatic experiences. Usually just like different heartbreaks, realizations I have, like my growth. My music is very vulnerable for me. Like a lot of people like to make party music and things, and that's cool. Like I've definitely made a few of those songs are in the vault, but I'm very like conscious. It's kind of like my therapy, you know. It's something I just run to when I feel like there's nothing else to run to or where I feel misunderstood. I can just always find comfort in recording a song, getting my feelings out there. And like, it's actually kind of funny because sometimes I'll record a song and I'm just going, you know, going off the top, whatever, punching in. And then I listened to it back and I was like, oh, that's what I was talking about. That's crazy. And it's very healing for me. And then going back to what you said earlier about the value in the music, why would people listen to it? I just think it's relatable. It's real, like I said. So if people can find healing in the music, that's just sweet to me, you know? Best thing I could ever ask for.
Yeah. I also feel like your music So I've said the way I listen to music is I don't really hear lyrics. I hear the melody until I listen to it 100 times. Then I'll finally like understand what the lyrics are saying, like because I'm just hearing the melody the whole time. But your melodies are amazing. So and your voice like sounds really good too. So I actually really like listening to your music. So I still have to go back and understand what the words were saying. And I've listened to your song.
Yeah.
What was that song that I mixed and mastered?
Oh, Wasn't Love. It's actually about to come out soon, so.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't Love. That one, I know there was good lyrics, but the melody is just crazy. I can listen to it so many times.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the melodies just come from, there's a fly. I think the melodies just coming from just the music I have, like inspiration-wise, like I mentioned the genres, R&B, rap, like going, whatever you want to say. Just having all these different things to pull from is a big thing for me. And just, I don't know. It just comes from the soul. I don't know how to describe it. I kind of just hop on the mic and do what I do. It's like practice, you know what I mean? Like Kobe, like he was doing 1,000 shots the night before a game, you know? It's like the more you do it, the better you get. And it kind of comes natural at this point. There definitely were times, though, I think, where I used to get writer's block, but that's not really a thing for me anymore just because I'm always living and experiencing and just trying to put new stuff out there and grow, so.
Yeah.
But thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you know?
And I wanted to know, like, when you get beats, what's your process with, like, producers sending you beats and stuff?
Ooh. So, like, I'm very picky with beats. People probably hate me, actually, but, like, people will send me a beat, and I'll be like, yeah, this is really good, like, and I mean it. But sometimes I'll just never hop on them because my music is very much of a personal thing. So, like, if I want to make a song or I feel like I need to make a song, I'm going to pull up beats. And if I'm not feeling it in that moment, like, if it's not resonating with something in my soul, my heart, I just won't hop on it. And I probably have beats from some of my best friends that are producers that have been sitting in my email for like 2 years probably, and they probably hate me for it. But like, I'm very picky when it comes to the process. And especially the more I grow as an artist, because recently I've been liking a lot of organic drums and more live instrumentation into my music. Like, I love like a full band sound, you know what I mean? I'm really moving in more of the pop direction. So it's the quality has to be there, you know? I'm looking for like good drums that snap. I'm looking for like good guitar melodies, you know? It's like, I'm very picky when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I think the mixing and mastering has a big play in that. Have you ever received a beat that probably sounded good, but the mixing and mastering wasn't there, so you're like, I can't even get on this?
Yeah. I can actually say I have. I've been actually doing a little bit of punk shit. It's crazy because like people have probably never heard me like scream on a song at all, but like I just love to sometimes, you know, and I can't wait to eventually put stuff out like that if I want. But yeah, like I hear like some awesome like beats and things, but then it'll be like overly distorted or like the mix levels aren't right or you know what I mean? So, and it just like completely kills my vibe and I'm like, dang, this could have been something, but it's not. And it's kind of hard as an artist too, because like we're usually not pulling in the stems and recording, you know? So I'm not going to sit there and mix every single stem. Or sometimes I don't have the ability to mix a stem because the producer doesn't send it. So I'm sitting there with a crappy sounding 2-track, even if the instrumentation is like arranged beautifully, just the mix matters so much. And that's why like, whether you're a producer or an artist, you got to go to guys like you that know what they're doing.
No, definitely. I've been in so many sessions recording rappers and they're not too, they're picky, but they're not too picky in terms of like the quality of the mixing and mastering. However, if it's really noticeable, they just skip the beat. And they'll usually like rappers will go through a bunch of beats before they get in. And there's obviously no time for mixing and mastering. These big rappers have many people sending them beats. So we're going through it. They go through it on their phone, click, next one. They give it 10 seconds, if. And if it's not there, skip it. It will never be seen again. And on to the next beat. So if your beats are not hitting like good enough and if there's something weird or sounding with them, like artists will skip them in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say that too. Like I was gonna say, you said 10 seconds. I was gonna give it like 15, you know? Like if I'll give it 15 seconds Because like you can feel it. There's something in the music that you feel. Like it's not all about like, okay, I can play the guitar, cool, but does it make you feel like something? Like how does the record like sit with you as a person, you know? And that's kind of how I make my music. Even when I'm recording, like if it doesn't feel good, if the line doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel authentic, if it doesn't make you feel any way, whether the song's a happy song, sad song, I'm screaming, if I don't convey the emotion properly, then I'm gonna scratch the take. So like, and I'm gonna do it again till I get it right. So when it comes to making beats or whatever, I assume any good producer would kind of like go off the feel. Cause I think that's what music is ultimately. Like as much as it is like ones and zeros with the mixing, which is super important, you also have to have the feeling there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I forgot to mention, I've seen so many times where the artist is going through the beats, the one that they want to play, and then all of a sudden they find a beat, and it's just the intro, and it's like a beautiful piano or something, and 15 seconds in, waiting for the drop, the artist is like standing up, they're like, this is it, this is the one we're gonna load up. All of a sudden the beat drops, and it's just like, that didn't hit right, or it's just the wrong drums or something, and all right, next. And then back in the same process again. So like everything is really important when you're sending beats. Just want to let the producers out there know that. Where do you see yourself in like 1 year from now?
1 year? Wow. That's crazy. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about where I want to be 1 year from now, actually 1 to 5 years. Like we talked about before, I feel like my music's already there, and it's always going to be there because I'm always looking for ways to improve. I don't want to hop on a trend. I just want to grow as an actual artist. So keeping the music on the side where I want to be, I really want to be heavy in the marketing, getting the imaging out there when it comes to like my social medias, when it comes to getting my streams up. Because like, I guess for an indie artist, I have like okay streams, whatever, for the amount of marketing that I don't do, really. So just getting the streams up, you know, finding the team, finding the management, releasing more content, whether it be songs or like TikToks, whatever, just really heavy on the promotion. And then also releasing more. I want to start releasing about once a month. And then from there, I should see a great increase of like fans and people just coming and checking out the music. I think that's the biggest thing, just consistency. So more consistency, finding more time in life just to be what I feel like I was made to be, an artist, ultimately.
When you release a song, what's the marketing you do for it?
The marketing, sheesh. Usually like I'll put a TikTok out there. I'll make a few. And then I'll do a lot of posting. Like the people on my Instagram, they're pretty engaged, you know, like the same few people I know will always stream my things and comment, like whatever. So they're always like on the lookout. And then I just share my things locally too. Like if I meet somebody, they're interested in music, I'll let them know I make music and things of that nature. I occasionally also run Facebook ads, which I'm getting more into now. I was looking into a little bit of services before this call, to see if I can find any like better management or marketers to be on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the most part, just those couple things. I definitely am guilty in the past, though. I didn't market it at all, like not even TikToks, like when I first started. But you know, times are changing. I'm taking it more seriously and learning about the game. And I can thank you for some of that because you've definitely given me some good tips of things I need to get done. So I'm just working on it now. All right, since I'm trying to build my fan base a bit more, do you have any advice for actually doing so?
To build your fan base and to grow it, I would say two big things that come to my head is obviously exposing yourself to people so that people can actually know you exist. Gotta do that. And then second thing is when people hit you up, if you engage with them, you have a higher percentage of keeping them as a fan. So everyone who compliments your music and everything, engage back with them. I actually have a problem where I don't do that well. I'm actually really bad at it. So if I do engage with you, it's because it's for a reason. So it's just because I get hit by so many people just sending me their music or just wanting things out of me for free or stuff like that. So my tolerance is just for engaging so sometimes I do it. But that would be the thing. Engage with your fans and anyone who hits you up. And then second thing is show yourself to a lot of people, market yourself put yourself in front of people. And you also have to bring in a lot of value when you do that to them. You got to give them value. You can't want stuff from them. You have to give them stuff. Because people would rather take than give. So, got to give.
So, interact with fans and give them value.
Yes. And
okay, that's some good advice.
What advice would you give to artists who were like, I don't even know how to write a song? What's your structure, your process? How would you do it?
Honestly, I mean, I'm sure you can go on YouTube and watch people talk about songwriting formulas or whatever you want to call them. I'm sure you can listen to Taylor Swift, every single album, front to back, back to front. But I think as an artist, I think it's important to be yourself. So you just got to start, man. You just got to start somewhere. I remember when I first started writing songs, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what would be the chorus or the hook or the verse. I think it's all about just going in there. Just like any artist, throwing paint at the wall. I'm like, okay, this is that. I'm like, okay, maybe this can be a chorus because I can put it again right here. It makes sense. Maybe it's better as a pre-chorus. And these are just things you learn, as you evolve as an artist and you take it more seriously. I don't think there's any shortcut to do it at all. I mean, definitely study the greats. I know I said, you can do Taylor Swift back to front, whatever. But whoever you want to study, just make sure you're ultimately still being yourself at the end of the day, because every song is unique. What worked for one song might not work for your song. But yeah, it's all about just finding your sauce, who you are as an artist. And that's the mostly, I don't even think about song structure anymore. It comes so naturally. I know what feels good. I know when I come in, I'm it's automatically, it's okay, this is probably going to be a verse, then a pre-chorus, then a chorus, depending on the structure of the beat. Or sometimes it might just be a chorus straight up. Or, sometimes it's better just to have the beat play out, It's all a feeling thing, and you kind of learn that as you make music. And, yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's all about feel, I think.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or am I just being too ambiguous about things?
No, that makes sense. So where do you usually, record?
I used to record in studios all the time, and then I just realized that if I want to take music, super seriously, at the time, I didn't have, all this money just to spend on studio time, you know what I mean? Especially, when you're young or a teenager, you don't have the bread for that. So I just took up the craft in terms of recording myself. And I think I've learned a lot. I've learned so much. I mean, I still aren't going to, release records that I mixed or mastered. I just keep those as demos. But, as an artist, I think having that skill set of being able to be okay, I'm going to record myself here and now, while the idea is fresh when I want to. It's just super valuable. It's like having the court at your house. I'm pretty sure the best NBA players all have a court at their house, Drake has a court at his house. He can wake up and shoot anytime he wants. Same thing as an artist. I don't want to wait until I book the session for next Saturday to go record the song that I wrote 2 weeks ago, because now I realize that I really like it. If I want to be creative, I need to be able to be creative right then and there, So that's mostly how I record at home. And I think most artists should do that. I think it's really good. It's valuable.
Yeah.
It's a skill you can also use. Let's say, if you do want to get into engineering, who knows? Maybe being an artist isn't for you. Maybe you can become a recording engineer. I don't know. It's just, I love music so much. It's just an all-encompassing thing to me. So whether I have to mix a demo or something, or produce a part of it, record it, write it, I just like being involved in it, at least knowing what I'm talking about to an extent, even though I might not be an expert on everything. I think it's very important, especially if we don't take it seriously. I think there's so many good artists out here, and they're good artists because they take it seriously. They know what they're doing a little bit when it comes to the sound of the music, or producing the music, or what level things should be recorded at. I don't think Young Thug is in the studio having no idea what a compressor does. I mean, there's pictures of him. What was he with, Baines or?
Baines, and before that, Source. He was with Source, my boy. I actually spoke to Source yesterday.
Source.
Yeah, he's Megan Thee Stallion's engineer, and he was Young Thug's engineer.
Yeah, I think it's really important to work closely with your engineer, whether you're giving them notes or you have to really make sure the vision of the song gets paid off. So
Yeah. What DAW do you record in? Then I have a follow-up question to that.
I use Pro Tools to record, the best DAW to record.
Do you have a template?
Yes, I do have a template.
Nice.
I do. Changes the game.
Yes. And I want to let artists out there know that if you ever need a recording template because your workflow is too slow, I do sell my recording template on my website. Thousands sold. I get the best feedback. Like literally someone DM'd me last night and they were like, yo, like my confidence just skyrocketed. And I was like, sick. Because it took me so many years to make the template.
Yes.
It took me so many years to make the template. Because every session I would do, I would change it and then send that to my email and then bring that next one to the next session, make tweaks, bring it to the next session. And so hundreds of thousands of sessions. I'm exaggerating, but it feels like it. That's the template you're getting. It's like the structure of it. So yeah, it's a great template. And I'm really glad that you have a template too, because how much easier does it make recording?
Oh, dude, you need a template. Like, I'm sure at this point I could probably record without a template, but I'm not gonna have as much fun. Like when you have a template, like you just feel the vibe off rip. Especially if you like use my bad. Let me go back. Especially if you use like autotune or a lot of reverb and delays in your songs, like you want to hear yourself how you record. Because I'm sure if you've been making music for a long enough time, you realize that like when you record with autotune, it sounds different, you know, like out loud. So like, actually, it's probably better to say it this way. Like if you record with autotune, for example, and like, my bad. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna go back. Having a template is definitely super important.
A lot more editing work.
Yeah. I mean, having a template is like super important to me because if you record without autotune and you were to go put it into autotune, it'll sound different than if you were to record with autotune and then listen to the final. You know what I mean? Because the tone is different, you know? Like when you're recording into the compressor, the tone is different. The volume is different. So the way you have to control your voice is different. You know what I mean? When you have reverb and delays, the spaces are different. And it's really important to have that template because you feel like you're in the song. You know what I mean? Especially a template like yours that's super customizable. You can get the reverb sitting right. You can get the delay sitting right. You can set the key of the song. And you can already feel like you're there. You know what I mean? Like, a template isn't going to get you 100% there, but if you're 50% there off rap, like you're going to be good and it's going to set you up to feel confident to finish your song. So I feel like that's some good advice that I'd also give to a lot of new starting artists. You have to have a good template, you know? I mean, I don't think Post Malone is recording anything without a template. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not happening. It's industry standard, you know? You have to have a template. Whether you're even like a recording engineer, I'm sure, like, you have your own thing. Everybody has to have their own thing. You can't just be raw dog in your Pro Tools. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that.
No, you can't raw dog the Pro Tools.
Was that some good?
That was fun.
Was that some good content for your template promotion?
Don't raw dog Pro Tools. Yeah.
But I'm just being for real, dude. Like on a real note, nobody's recording at an industry level without a template. You know what I mean? Even if they do the first line without anything on it, maybe just a compressor and a slight reverb, the engineer's gonna then go add more compression or maybe take some, back it off, add some different EQ, maybe boost right here, cut right there. They're gonna be mixing the song while it goes. So regardless, you're still having a template. You're still creating the sound. You know what I mean? Like a producer isn't gonna go play a piano and then be like, oh, I'll put Nexus on it when I go to mix it. Like just having maybe, but like, you think Nick Mira is going in the studio he's not raw dogging keys, like I said about Pro Tools. He's kind of just going in there, like feeling the sound out when it's already kind of crafted. That's the vibe, you know? You have to keep the vibe. That's the point of a template.
I want to know more about your music goals. Like, do you want to perform? Do you like performing? Do you just want to record?
I want to do it all, dude. Like, it's crazy because at first I was like so scared to perform. Like, I've only performed like a handful of times, maybe like 4. Pretty small shows, nothing crazy. But either way, I had a fun time. I used to be super scared too, but now like I want to travel the world, man. Like if there's a kid anywhere in the world that likes my music, if a kid, adult, whatever, you know what I mean? If I can help get him through a moment, like I'd love to. Like I've been to so many concerts in my life, especially within the last few years. And just like seeing the artists I like most, and like sometimes you lock eyes with them. It's like, oh shit, like I just locked eyes with this, that. Like it's so cool, you know what I mean? You can make someone's dream come true. Especially, I can't even imagine like if the person didn't make music. Like I make music, so it's like I'm super hypercritical of what I listen to, and it's like, okay, I hear mistakes, this, that, and whatever. But like as a person that doesn't make music, like going to a show, it has to be super immersive. It has to be the most amazing thing ever. It's like looking at your biggest idol ever, essentially. Like, so if I can give anybody that feeling just from listening to the music, seeing me live, like that would be freaking dope, man. I want to like travel the world, just make memories and stuff like that. So recording obviously comes first. I have to make the hits, you know what I mean? I have to be in the studio, but I definitely want to do a lot of touring, a lot of performing, and just get better and better. Like I haven't even done it 5 times. I said I had 4 performances, you know, I got so much left in the tank. I got so much areas I can improve in, you know? So I just can't wait.
Yeah, man. I'm so excited for everything you have going forward because I feel like your music's there. Now it's just the marketing. And I think you're just going to say marketing is water and you have a cup. The more water, which is marketing, you put in your cup, the more you're going to float. Like, because your music's just already going to take you there. That was a weird analogy.
No, that was actually awesome. I was able to understand it.
Yeah.
That's sweet, yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up. Really looking forward to all the music you're going to put out going forward. And where can everyone find you?
You can find me everywhere, essentially. Sprye Music across all platforms. In terms of like Spotify and Apple Music, just Sprye. Yeah, Sprye Music, Instagram, Twitter, you know, TikTok. You can find me everywhere.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much, Sprye.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it.
See ya. Hey, that was Sprye. Go check out his music. It's on all platforms. He's super awesome. He's going to enlighten your day if you listen to your music. I promise.